Hello and welcome to new video. Today we're going to take a look at a 23-2 team for the Open Great League. I didn't go 23-2 with this team, only did 2 sets here, which you're going to see every single game with it as well. But Pedoman went 23-2 on stream with this team here. They also got the team from someone else, but also this team is something that you most likely know already from my channel if you are following me for quite a long time. I basically used the core of Talonflame and also Ferrothorn for quite a long time on this channel here, but usually we had a Vigoroth as a stay-swap. Of course, Vigoroth are not really ideal anymore this season, not going to be a good stay-swap for this team anymore, but we have Drapion now. Drapion got buffed this season with a Poison Sting, and honestly, I was surprised on how much of a difference this makes. Definitely, Drapion, I can tell you already before we even watch the entire video here as well, for sure worth it. Like, this Pokemon is definitely worth it. A very, very strong Pokemon. For sure worth the placement that it has. Bit awkward here for the first battle already. We're going to have the Bastion against us. This is not going to be ideal for us, especially now as they're going to swap out into the Victory Bell. They have a toxic lineup from last season still, where 2 of the Pokemon got nerfed, but it still makes it not way easier to beat. And so we're going to struggle here maybe a little bit, but we have to find out on if we can still win this battle or not. We're going to try our best. We can go for a Thunder to try to knock out the opponent's Victory Bell. Maybe we should have got some extra energy before that, but it is what it is. We can still try our best here. Also, can go for another Power Whip against the opponent. This is going to be able to do some solid damage against them for sure, but it is still going to be a very close matchup as they're going to try to reach another Power Whip here. The opponent generates so little energy though that we should be maybe even fine here at this point to go for another one. The opponent already forfeits here anyway. Next opponent, we're going to have a great lead here. I think this is also was Jorge, one of the best players in the world as well here against us. We're going to see another Drapion against us as well. I thought, because like I definitely did not play everything perfect with this team as well, I would need a little bit more play time basically with the Pokemon that we have here, because I haven't used any of the Pokemon in the recent weeks at least. But yeah, I was thinking that the Incinerate damage might be enough to put them into range for one awkward heal. Turns out that's not the case, but we're still going to be able to get the shield advantage here for now, which we are going to lose most likely kind of straight away here, because we're going to try to fully farm down here with Incinerate. So the opponent gets switch advantage, which is fine. We're going to get also here the energy advantage, which is going to be fine. One issue for this team can be sometimes Dunsparce, I have to say. Dunsparce is a bit tricky, and also great play here from the opponent to just swap out straight away, expecting me to swap out of here, which is very smart. Honestly, I could have even predicted this kind of play, because it does make a lot of sense here. If someone goes for a Brave Bird, they usually swap out the Talonflame afterwards, especially if the opponent has a double super effective fast move against you. And so it is not really perfectly played from me so far, but it is still not over. I'm not too sure who's going to win this battle here, but Jumpluff is going to be up against us, and Jumpluff definitely going to be interesting also here as a normal variant. I really like the Shadow variant of Jumpluff, but normal one does make a lot of sense as well. But let's find out here if we can still win against that Dunsparce. We are going to be able to sneak in this extra fast move. As they're going to go for a charge move and we still have a shield, we are going to be able to use that shield and win the battle guaranteed now, as we have the energy to go for a fly, and they decide to forfeit anyway. Next opponent, we're going to have Machamp in the lead, and here's something interesting, which I didn't really expect, is that they can actually get to a Rock Slide now after 5 fast moves. This was usually where you can go for a cross jump, but a Rock Slide is actually being reached now after 5 fast moves, which is kind of ridiculous. But they would have mostly won this battle as well. They are like the lead matchup if they just played out a bit better. If they just went up to 7 fast moves instead and just played out in the 2 shit, they definitely would have been able to win the lead matchup. But it is what it is. We're going to see Clodsai here and I make a bit of a mistake. I overfarm a bit too much. That is way too greedy for me. And so we're going to be in a position now where we have to hope that we can do something somehow. But we have to see if we can get the shield here. We cannot. We're going to get the knockout. And they go back into the Machamp, which is fine for me because I can go back into the Talonflame. But they have a Dunsparce in the back. And I give them a free fast move here as well, which is not ideal. That is not ideal at all. Now it's all down to Drapion. And honestly, Drapion is definitely by far now one of my favorite Pokemon from the season. And I did not really expect this at all. Like, honestly, I did not expect that, we are going to have this Pokemon as one of the best meta Pokemon just by this small change of Poison Sting. But honestly, I think it's mainly also the meta that's around it right now. So, yeah, I don't know. You're going to be able to go for the crunch here, get the knockout, and the Machamp decides to forfeit. Let's take a look at the next one here. We're going to have the Abomasnow in the lead. That's going to be a great lead for us, but they swap onto the Feraligatr, which you try to counter with our Ferrothorn. Ferrothorn is going to be able to at least resist the charge move of Hydro Cannon, but Ice Beam would still do some solid damage. Now I decided to go ahead and also now yeah, use a shield there. The shield is coming through against the Ice Beam, which is great. We can go for another charge move, but they might be able to outspeed me as well now if they do it correctly. Let's find out. And you're gonna see if they're gonna go for the bait here. Should most likely let the move go through. It is going to be the Hydro Cannon, and with this, yeah, it's going to be a bit of a tough one. We're gonna try our best here, but they're gonna go for a charge move. It's going to be the Ice Beam, and so they can align themselves, and we are forcing onto the Drapion. At least we are going to be able to, yeah, get to the Aqua Tail in time, which is great, and this is going to be enough to get the knockout here. But let's see what they're gonna do next. They're gonna go back, of course, into the, yeah, Abomas now, and I make a bit of a mistake here, which in general is not really a mistake, but we're gonna decide to go straight for the Brave Bird. Why is it a mistake here, but not before? The thing is here, they have Sludge Bomb, they don't have Stone Edge. If I didn't go for the Brave Bird, I would have been easily able to win the battle at this point already. But I did not expect them to have Stone Edge, to have Stone Edge. I expected them to have Stone Edge, but they had Sludge Bomb, and this is making it way, way worse for us. Crunch is coming through now against them, but sadly they win the CMP time. And the awkward thing is now that we're gonna get the attack drop here, of course, and with this attack drop, we are not going to be able to put them into range for an awkward here, and I don't reach the crunch in time based on my health, and so there was a lot of small things going against me here, but it is what it is. We barely lose, but it's fine. Let's move on to the next opponent. Talonflame mirror matchup. This is going to be a very interesting one here, for sure. Talonflame is going to be a Pokemon that we are going to be able to at least go for Fly against, get the shield, and we can avoid at least our other Pokemon in the back against, our Ferrothorn. We also see already we win the CMP tie, which is quite important. When they decide to swap out into a Dugong, which now has to take a Brave Bird from us, doing a ton of damage. But not only this, we can go ahead and get all our energy back here that we just used, while swapping out now into our Ferrothorn, getting some energy from them. And here's the thing, the opponent is of course now like still having in the back there the Talonflame, which is a flying type Pokemon, and we have Thunder on our Ferrothorn. So the matchup itself is not even that bad, and we're gonna see it here right now as well. We can go for one fast move, go for a charge move, get some damage onto them, but you know what's actually kind of crazy? We are going to be able to even go for another Power Whip, and this is going to get the shield from the opponent. We saw already that we won the CMP time, so I can go for my charge move straight away, but they decide to swap out into Superior, and there's nothing they can do. I can go for two fast moves here, get back up to a Brave Bird, and swap out, catch the move, win the battle, and nothing they can do anymore. We have a shield still left. They can get the debuff if they want to. I don't care. This game is over. They should know about it as well at this point. I can use a shield if I want to, but we have our Talonflame. We have any kind of option here for us anyway. We use a shield here, and honestly at this point we can just fully farm them down if we wanted to. And so it is what it is. So let's move on to the next battle. Next opponent, we're going to have Gastron. Gastron is going to be an interesting matchup because if they run Water Pulse, it's not ideal. But if they are running the move of the Earth Power, we're going to have a great matchup there. Here we're going to see the swap out straight away into the Clodsire, which we can try to retaliate with our Ferrothorn. Makes no sense really here, maybe? I don't know, like it's a bit of a tricky matchup. Maybe it would have been better to go into the Drapion. Yes, they have the super effective Earthquake, but you have also the super effective Awkward Tail, which you get to a bit faster. So I'm not too sure which one was the right call here, but Earthquake is coming through from the opponent. We're gonna see the Mandibus coming in. We can go for a Thunder, doing some super effective damage. And that is going to be kind of great, because what we will see here is that we can just go ahead and swap out into our Drapion. Drapion is going to be able to take those hits quite easily, and we can go for the Awkward Tail spam. We're very likely going to get hit by at least one more Aerial Ace here in the process, but it's going to be fine, as we can take those hits quite easily. We will see the opponent going for an Aerial Ace again. And let's find out what we can do next. It's going to be Gastron coming in here. We're going to still try our best. We're going to go for the crunch and get them kind of low. Hopefully low enough that we can knock them out with just one move. Here, I'm not too sure if I would have won CMP tie. I don't think I would have, but I should have been able to at least CMP tie against the opponent, which I wasn't able to because of the lag in the game. Honestly, lag is still there. Lag is still very annoying, and it is definitely causing me some losses as well throughout the games I have done so far already this season. It's kind of annoying, to be fair. But let's see what they're going to have in the back here. It's going to be the Mandibus. I wanted to go ahead and go for my charge move there as well already, but yeah, I didn't. That's great. Aerial Ace coming through. At this point, the opponent stops out into the Clodsire. I can go for my Fly. Fly is going to be able to get the shield from them. I can go for another Fly. This is definitely going to be enough to knock them out from this range. Now it's all down to the matchup against the opponent's Mandibus. Can we do it? We just, again, couldn't go for the charge move, but we still at least win the battle somehow. Honestly, sometimes the game is kind of wild, and yeah, it is kind of not ideal. Here I should have stayed in for a bit longer and go for one charge move. This was a mistake by me. For sure was a mistake in my opinion. And there are going to be some more mistakes coming up here as well, which you're going to see here very, very soon. We're going to have the dance boss against us. It's going to be a very favorable matchup for us. We have some stab moves. The opponent doesn't have stab moves. The opponent's fast move is resisted. We have only neutral hits here, and we can two-shot them with the power whip, which is kind of fine as well. Again, if I stayed in for a bit longer and went for one fly, I would have been able to put them into range where just one charge move would have been enough. And now they might be able to realign, right? Maybe. You're gonna be able to go for the drill run here, and we really want to get rid of the opponent's Pokemon here, and so I decide to use a shield. This is gonna be nice, as the Power Whip is gonna get the knockout, and here, this is such an obvious play here. I decided to go up to the Thunder, they catch the move. You saw me there trying to still go for the other move, but it just was a bit too late. And so they were able to catch the move here, which is really annoying, because now, yeah, we're gonna be in a position where Gastrin can definitely do a lot of damage against me. I try to go for my fly now. This is not going to be enough to knock them out again, and we are in a very tough position as we are forced to go for the full farm down here, and I decided to use a shield. Hindsight, sure went for the Brave Bird. I just sure went for the Brave Bird. Here I can at least still go ahead going for a charge move against the opponent. And also one thing that I want to point out here as well is I thought the opponent swapped into the Manibus here. I thought they still had the Gastron with a bit of health left in the back, which they didn't, which I only saw at the end of the game. But basically that's why I kind of also try to preserve a bit more health and try to play a bit more risky here by going for awkward here and then trying to catch a move later on. Basically what I want to force the opponent to do here is to go up as much energy as possible, because I went for the double awkward here and perfect fast move timing, go for another fast move and then swap to catch a move, which does not work out. The opponent plays out better. But honestly, this game was something I had to win. Like, I just had to win, but I just played it pretty horrendous, and so I definitely deserve this loss here. Well played by the opponent, though. Again, like, the catch was very smart, wasn't very obvious in hindsight, but good game there. So overall, horror elite here, but this is kind of what I want to showcase as well, why I love the Drapion so much. Drapion as a save swap is just so great. We had the lead there of Azumarill, pretty bad for us, right? Drapion would have only resisted Chartreuse, so they would have been able to actually play this one out if they wanted to, but they decided to swap out into the Toxapex, which is a Pokemon where we resist the fast move, but also we are going to take definitely a hit here from them as well, as Brine is the best move they can go for, and Brine is a garbage charge move anyway, and so we can just go for the Crunch Spam, and Crunch Spam is going to allow us to guarantee alignment, and alignment is going to be key here. We saw already the Azumarill. Azumarill is going to be super weak against the Ferrothorn, cannot do anything against Ferrothorn, while we do only super effective damage against them, and that is going to be crazy. As we can go for the Awkward Tail here to try and knock out the opponent, we should be kind of in a spot where we can still even reach a Crunch to try to force a debuff onto them, onto that Azumarill, and that would be a crazy good debuff for us, because then they would be in range for one Power Whip. And see if we're gonna get it. We do not get it, but it's going to be fine, as we can now perfectly align ourselves, which would have been a hard counter and basically on paper, but because of Drapion and because of it being able to flip a switch, we were in such a great spot. But then again, I don't know why they didn't go into the Sand Slash against our Pokemon there as well. But let's move on to the next one. Great lead for us, but also a great save swap for us. We're gonna have the Dugong against us, where we can just go for the Brave Bird, force either a shield or get a ton of damage onto them, and we're gonna take the shield from the opponent, as we can swap out now into our own Ferrothorn, where we're going to be able to go for those charge moves against it that are gonna be super effective as well against them. So we're gonna be in a great spot. Basically, we have shield advantage, we have switch advantage as well, basically. And that is going to be a great scenario we are in. The opponent's still going to try later on a bit to come back from this one, but it's going to be a very tough one, as we can try our best here. We're going to be able to go ahead and go for another charge move. It's going to be that Power Whip, gonna get the knockout against them, and in comes the Ferrothorn again here. And here they're gonna try to get at least 100 energy, which does make a lot of sense. We are double debuffed. We have only resisted hits for the opponent here. And so, like, there's no real reason even for them to actually go for a charge move. They could have went for the full farm down. But they decide to still go for one, which is great for me, because now I can go ahead, go for another Thunder. They get 2 free fast moves in, which is enough to get to a Thunder against my Talonflame as well. So I forced to use our shield here, but we still get 1 Incinerate in for free, which is going to be great, as it's going to do a ton of damage no matter what, and puts them for sure in range for even a crunch of our final Pokemon here. In comes the Marowak, which has access to the move Rock Slide, which I tried to catch here, which did not work out at all. But at least I can go for an Awkward Tail. Awkward Tail recently got buffed last season, is also able to do a ton of damage here. Forgot actually that Awkward Tail got buffed as well for this Pokemon, so yeah, it got a double buff basically throughout the last 2 seasons, making Drapion so much better. but we're gonna be able to use a shield here. This is going to be fine. It's going to be the rock side, luckily. And so we can see as well the Ferrothorn coming back in. We are going to be able to go for a charge move, but we have to hope now that they cannot get to another rock side. They generate energy quite fast now with Mudslap. Is it a rock side or not? Well, let's find out. It is not, and we win the final battle here. Great team to run, for sure, great team to run. A lot of things that I could have improved on as well in my gameplay, which I didn't, because like, I didn't know the team directly yet, but definitely something I would recommend you to run. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I'll see you then. Bye bye.